scatter plots. What a scatter plot is, it's really just a collection of points. Okay, a scatter plot is a collection of points. A correlation, what that means is if there's a relationship between the points. And when we talk about points, I want you to know, is there a relationship between x and y? Okay, so scatter plot, you just plot a whole bunch of points. A correlation means we're looking, is there a relationship between our points? What I mean is there a relationship between x and y? Do they seem to want to be together, or do they not care about each other at all? These are the different types of correlation you have. When you look at this first one, this is a positive correlation. And when I say positive, I mean that y increases. As x increases, my y is increasing. So as x gets bigger, my y is going to get bigger. It's just going to keep going and going. You call that positive. Also known, when I look at it, I look at it a little bit differently, and I just say, does it look like it would be a positive slope or negative slope? Okay? So I need you to be able to identify kind of that it looks kind of like a line, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And it looks like a positive increasing line. Now when we look at the second example, this is called a negative slope. That means that as x is increasing, our y is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay? An example would be something like the amount of bills you have and money you have, for example. As your bills increase, look what's happening to your money. It's decreasing. Okay? Again, another way to think about it, it looks like it could be a line, doesn't it? And it looks like a negative slope, so you call that a negative correlation. This last one here represents no correlation. They're just a whole bunch of random points. I can't really form a line. Okay? See, like, a very good example could be, well, and which one would be the independent? They're both kind of independent, aren't they? Age is going to happen no matter what, and then we got height going on, right? So that's a really good example, height and age. Look at me. I'm way over here, and my height is right there. Okay?
Whoa.
Yep. Well, that works. Okay. Next slide. We're going to plot some scatter plots. We're going to plot some scatter plots. And then we're going to, determine, is it a positive correlation, a negative correlation, or no correlation. All right, we have the following variables. We got dollars spent in gasoline bought. And I want to think to myself, what is my independent variable? Which one depends on the other? And what I want you to be able to notice is that our dollars is dependent on how many gallons we bought. So our gallons is our X value, your dollars is your Y value. Now I just need to plot these points. The difficult part with scatter plots is they're going to be ugly numbers. You're not going to get it 100% correct. You're going to make a rough estimate. And also, the bummer part is scaling. You don't know how to scale. Okay, when I say scaling, I'm thinking, how should I go up? Do I go up by ones? Do I go up by twos? Do I go up by fives? Do I go up by tens? And that's kind of, you learn as you go. Okay? When I look at my Y column, my range here is really from 4 to 10, 11, 13. My range is 12. So that tells me I think I'm just going to go up by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. My range for my X's is low, so I think I'm going to only go by my X's by 1. Okay, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about all I did. And now I start plotting. So remember that these are all points. This is the point 2, 5, 10, And then that would be 2.58 or 2.811, etc. So the first one, I get x is 2.5, that's right in the middle, and y is 10. So I would be about right there. The second, I'd be 2.8, so I'm a little closer to 3, and 11, so I'm right in the middle. 2.3, so I'm smaller than 2.5, and I'm at 9. Okay, and again, it's rough estimate. You're going to get something that's a little different than mine, it's okay, as long as we're in between the two numbers. And you benchmark half appropriately. So what's my next one? 2.6 and 10, so that's a little closer to 3. I got two separate points going on there. 3.3 and 13, I'm a little bigger than 3, going up to 13. 1.3 and 5, I'm a little bigger than 1.3, going to the 5. 2.2 and 8. And 1.1 and 4. All right, so I did it. I graphed it. It is not fun to graph scatter plots. You just roll with it, though. Now I look at my data. Does it look like there is a correlation going on? Yes or no? What kind of correlation? Yeah, this looks like there is a positive correlation. Because the points are together. They're kind of stuck together here. And it looks like I could just kind of draw a line through them, right? If you can imagine a line going through, or if they're looking like a three-dimensional line, that would represent a correlation. This looks like a positive correlation, right? Looking at the next one. Okay, I want to plot this one. I'm just going to plot this one. You do not have to plot this one in your notes. All right, looking at the next set of data, we have plane altitude and our outside temperature. So I have altitude and temperature. What do you think is dependent on the other? Do you think my temp is dependent on how high I am, right? Because the higher you get, kind of the colder it is. So my temperature is my dependent, and my height is independent, because I can choose how high I'm going to go. I can choose to fly a plane or not, okay? So now comes the hard part. I hate this part, the scaling part. Look at my range. Before I even start, I look at my range. I'm going from 5,000 to 0. So maybe I could do either go up by 500s. I don't know if that's enough. 500,000, 15.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5. Yeah, I can go by 5s.
Works out perfect.
So now I'm just going to do that quick. So this would be 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 25, 3, 35, 4, 45, 5. And my Y would range, it looks like I range, oh my goodness, a 0.6 all the way to like 60. I'm thinking I'm going to go by possibly 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I can't really do that. I'm going to have to go by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Then I'm just going to start plotting. I got 0, 59, 59.2, no, 559.2, 1,061.3, 1,555.5, whoops, 2,041.6, 2,529.8, 3,029.9, 3,518.1, 4,026.2, 4,500, 12.4, and 5,000.6. It's really small. Does that look like it's got a correlation going on? Yes or no?
Yes.
It does, right? Because I can kind of smush. This kind of looks like a three-dimensional line going down. So it's got a negative correlation. That's all we're going to work on today. Tomorrow we will get more practice making scatter plots, and we will make a line of best fit.